What's up, guys? See, what was I going to? I need to. What's up, guys? See real quick. It's crazy. So we'll go down real quick so we give people a chance to get in, and I'm going to respond to your comments real quick before we get started. What's good, family? You are the man. What's up, Charlie? What's up, Edwin? Josh, Deborah, Andre, Woods, Happy Girl, Quentin, Kathleen, Charles, Hate the Real, D Nice, Paul, Leroy, Jose, Charles, YGTY, Kathleen, Jamie, Vance, David. Let's see who else we have. NVIDIA Shield TV, $30 off. That's good. Let's see, Ben. What's up, Cody Man? Herb, James, Hector. They already? Hey, Gail. What's up, Steven? Okay, we'll get started. If you guys miss it in the show, you can always go back and it's going to re-upload. All right. So, topic is of the video I put is while watching and enjoying your smart TV, while watching TV, your smart TV is watching you. So I was reading these articles, and it pretty much just stated that Vizio, due to some stuff that happened in the past, had to pay over $2 million in settlement. And they had to pay this because they were collecting data from some of their customers um, for 2 years. They was doing it for 2 years. And it was kind of funny because I read the articles. I put the articles in the description as well. They're from The Verge, and I think it was Extreme Tech. Let's go over to some of the articles. And this is nothing to really worry about. I wouldn't worry about it because it's going to happen regardless of what you do. And this doesn't surprise me about them collecting information. Your TVs collect information, your phones collect information, your your streaming devices collect information. It's just what it is. It is what it is. The goose is loose. Knowledge is power, and this knowledge of your information, if it's worth dollars, and that's just what it is. And there's nothing you can do about it to stop it, really. So we're going to go take a look at these articles. So this isn't scare bait because it's, I mean, you really ain't no reason to worry about it because you can't stop it. Okay. Let me know if you guys can see the article. Let me know if you guys can see the article. Can you guys see it? Okay. So this is from The Verge. I put the link in the description as well. This is one of the articles we're going to look at. And The Verge said most smart TVs are tracking you. And this is some of the stuff we talked about in the past. So I thought this was very interesting, you know. So this said the lawsuit was actually 2.2 million to settle charges around that monitor the viewing habits. More than 11 million TVs without consent. Okay. And this is some of the stuff that they said, what have they been tracking? So Vizio has been collecting some fairly personal data. The company's TVs are back to track what you watch on a second by second basis, whether you're watching cable, playing a Blu-ray, or streaming a movie. So what details were they looking for? And I honestly believe I seen some of the details they had listed. It goes beyond this. You guys just really don't realize. This includes sex, age, income, marital status, household size, education, home ownership, and household value. That's just a small list of information they're looking at. It's so much bigger than that. This is from Extreme Tech, and this is from the CTO of Vizio. He was at CES 2019. And he said he confirms that the data collection in smart TVs is now offsetting the cost of hardware to the point that a non-smart TV will have a higher price tag. So he pretty much stating with that, hey, yeah, we're doing it, but you're saving money. If we wasn't doing it, you'll have to pay higher for our TVs and stuff like that. So just like Android phones, use of data is used to reduce costs and stay competitive. So this is what he stated. So this statement lets me know user data is used to reduce costs. They're selling this information that they gather from you guys to, different companies and stay competitive, to compete. So this lets you know also they're not the only, he's pretty much stating, hey, this is the way it goes down. We're not stopping because you have to do this to remain competitive. We're not the only ones that do this. We just got caught. That's what that statement means right there. We just got caught. This is the way it works. So, with this information, they gave us the list of information that they collected, but it goes bigger than that. They're collecting what type of medicine you like, your spending habits, what as far as your budget, what you like to eat, anything, guys. If you buy a Samsung Fungo TV, your info is sold. Anything. It's just not. It's just not. You guys just think it's just one company doing this. That statement that he made just let you know we need to remain competitive. He's pretty much saying anyone that's making money in the business does this. So it doesn't just speak out to one different brand, it speaks out to all of them. If it's for marketing, I'm gonna read some of your comments. If it's for marketing purposes to make money, it's said, but that shows but that's how it works. There, right, Stephen? I mean, the information, everything, even YouTube, companies, with their ads and stuff like that. Information is so valuable. These stats, these numbers pretty much help win a customer. And it's not going to stop because it generates a lot of money, man. Yep. When I Google something, When I Google to research something to buy it, it shows up on Facebook. That's one of the ways. You could be shopping for, let's say you're shopping for anything. You're shopping for NVIDIA Shield TV. You're shopping for a streaming device. Um, and you've been looking at it. Then a few days later, you go on Facebook and you see a list from these different sites. It might be Amazon, it might be Best Buy, and it's showing you the things that you looked at. Or you go somewhere else and it's showing you some more devices. What has happened is your device, your information of what you were doing, what you were looking to buy, came up, and now they're kind of trying to capitalize off it because they know as many times as you see it, the stuff that you was interested in, you'll make that buy. So I'm gonna read some more comments. Medicine is big to your health. You know, People want to know what your illness is. Your health is worth so much money. Your drug prescriptions, everything that you're taking. Not only you, they want to know what your mother taking, what your wife, your husband is taking, what your kids is taking, what illnesses they have. Everything is just worth value. So the little list they gave us that they track is just so small because they're tracking everything. Now, I'm not saying they can actually see you. They can watch you, but they can watch your habits when you accept the terms of services conditions. Yeah, and that's what a lot of companies did. Even devices. Look at so many look at some of the devices we use. We use the Video Shield TV. We use what the Fire Sticks and stuff like that. And then they say, "Hey, click this so we can we can collect data and blah blah blah, so we can make your experience better." That's pretty much it right there. And I believe even if you don't click it, if you say no, you're still gonna be watched. There's an option in settings on Vizio to cut it off. Vizio just came on with the setting. Yeah, Deborah, that's true. There is an option to cut it off, but does this cutoff option actually work? Do you believe something that generates so much money will stop happening? That's where I think people are naive. They worry about it and then they say something about it and they say, "How are we going to stop this?" I really don't believe there's no stopping it. You know, they're going to continue to do it, all these companies. If they get caught, they'll just pay the fine. That's what it is. Because the value of your information is worth a whole lot more than the fine. Enjoying your videos. Hey, the same on cars. Um, I don't know. I mean, it depends. It depends on what you're doing in your car. I mean, it's just so many everywhere we go, you got these phones, you got these TVs, you got everything out here, and they're computers, man. This stuff is computers, and they can keep track of everything you're doing. They can keep track of your traveling habits, when you at work, where you work at, your locations, just so much stuff to pinpoint you and your habits. And in reality, there's nothing you could do about it. What about mental illness? Any illness, Joel, rather it's any health issue. How does VPN affect what they get? And Ben, that's a good question because that's the normal answer to what people will say. Well, I got a VPN, they can't track me. And I think it could help maybe. VPNs are great for what they do. You know, they're great for what they do. They mask your location so they don't know that it's coming from that certain area. You can put that location somewhere else. But this stuff that they're doing, I don't believe anything could stop it, you know. And who's to say that every VPN company is on the up and ups, you know, because this knowledge, this information is worth so much money. Who's to say they're not in that business either, you know, with certain information? And a VPN is great, but it's certain things that technology can do that if they want to find something out, I don't think anything can really stop them from actually getting this information. You know, they have to be able to get information without anything stopping them because it would create too many threats. Let's just think about the bad things that can happen. Let's think how this is a positive thing. This is a positive thing. I'm not saying it's a positive thing. I'm just talking about something that's positive about it. It's positive because it can help you track people that say they're doing something real dirty, you know, that's real criminal, and they can still get to it. If you could just use a VPN to block all this and mask all this, just imagine the stuff that would happen. So, I mean, this technology that's out here, nothing can protect you completely. And it's not about protecting you. They're not there to hurt you. There to just profit off your habits, profit off your habits, and create stats because numbers don't lie. You know, these stat systems that they use work, and people be like, "Well, this stat right here doesn't make sense." These percentage numbers make money, man. What's up, Derek? So I'm gonna drop. If you guys have Google Hangouts on whatever you guys are watching me on, I'm gonna drop the link because I want to hear some of your opinions about this and do if you think this is true. I know it's true, but I want to know if we have any doubters. So that's the Google Hangouts link if you guys want to come to the live show and share your opinion. In a way, we are tracking ourselves. And James, yeah, we are because I mean, you have to live life. And I mean, you can't walk a few feet without touching a computer. Well, it's just not Vizio. Vizio's not to blame here. You know, you really can't blame them because if they're pretty much stated, you know, hey, we gave you a way if you don't want to get tracked. We gave you, you can waive it off. But they pretty much stated this is the way of business. This is the way things go. And we just got caught. And here go Michael Page. Michael Page said every time you go to a place, your phone will ask you how was your experience. Yeah. And it really don't even ask you because the phone yourself, you know, they know when your location. You know, if you have any apps that share your location and stuff like that, they know where you're going. And then I'm going off the grid. There's nowhere you can go, Eric. You have a point. I mean, they'll get fines and they won't hide that they were doing it. Like they was completely honest about the situation. It's just these fines are not going to stop what's happening. You know, these are the times that we're living in. So let me see if I can find some more. because The Verge also. So they stated, Vizio actually stated that you can turn this off. So if you own a Vizio TV, you can stop all tracking. Vizio now has to disclose and obtain consent. So that pretty much means they need your consent to track you, to view your habits. The option to disable tracking is hidden deep inside some menus, but it's easy enough to switch it off it. You know what to look for. Vizio has instructions on its website. So they offer the option for you guys to turn it off. And I believe that they will probably honor that option, but it's just, they're not the only ones doing it. What's up, Thai K? So join me and let me know what you guys think about it. Anybody with Google Hangouts, if you don't have a camera or don't want to show yourself, you don't have to turn the camera on. You can just talk. And this one I'm gonna start doing more too, finding certain topics. And this from out there. I have looked on items on Amazon. A couple days later, they will ask me, "Am I still interested in the items?" They are definitely tracking. Yeah, all the time. Not even. You don't even have to go to that site. You can go to different sites. The ads will pop up. What's up, Ben? How you doing? Ben, you there? Okay, Ben's not there. VPNs don't stop tracking. Well, VPNs mask your location, so they'll stop and help you. Like what we doing with the streaming things, VPNs can work. But what they're talking about with collecting data, collecting your location, all this stuff like that, with so many devices that we're using, how can a VPN stop all this? A lot of you guys just got the VPNs, just for streaming and stuff like that. What happens when you go outside and you're using your mobile data and stuff like that? They're tracking everything. If folks stop buying TVs, that will hurt them. I will ask where people are not going to stop buying TVs. People are not going to stop buying TVs. What I could actually see happening in the future is that they offer an option like, hey, you can pay this much for this 55-inch TV, but if you could pay this much, say it's $800, you could pay $900 for this TV right here, and we won't track your data. But if you pay $600 or $500 and give us this option to track it, we're good. And that would be kind of funny to see. But that's pretty much what they stated. They stated that hey, if we didn't do this, we have to charge more for the TVs. What's up, Wilbert? Technology is a weapon in 2019. I don't think it's just started. I think it's been a weapon for a long time. Not necessarily a weapon. It's just been a means to make more money. Technology has, and we're just hearing about it more often because there's so many more outlets now. That's with just everything. Everything we be hearing of now, we be so surprised that it happened. And it's not that it just now happened. It's just that we're more aware of it because there's so many stuff for us to gather information. We're on the internet, we're on the phone all day, we're on YouTube all day, we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, all these different types of social media. You got people whipping out their phones all the time, recording stuff. So the information is just more easier for us to see now, but it's always been going on. And this is with everything. We don't even have to just say TVs, your phones, your streaming devices, everything. And there's nothing, I seen people worried about it, and there's no reason to be worried because it's just what it is. That's the world that we live in. There's nothing you can do about it, you know. So, I mean, there's no reason to worry about it. And that's what people ask me all the time. Hey, Steve, do you worry about this? Do you? No, because if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. I can't do anything really about it. They can collect all they want, but it's not being used to its full extent yet, but getting better every day from Brian. I gotta disagree with you, Brian, because what they do, even if they're not being, it's something that you're doing, Brian. Like, I don't know you personally, but you might be married, and say you're married, and let's say something simple. Let's say it's certain something going on with your health. Like me, I got a high blood pressure. Let's just use me. I got high blood pressure, and I'm looking up medications and stuff like that. And they can view these medications. They can make stats based on my age. They can make stats based on my race, and they can put all these stats with different people that have stuff in common with me, and they can make patterns up from this. What's up, Gail? So I mean, it's being used to its full extent. It's being used, and it's only going to get better. I can't hear you.
Hey, Steve.
Hey, Gail, how you doing? Who Ben is? Hey, Ben.
Hey, Steve.
I can't hear you, Ben. Is that you talking? Turn your volume up. What's up, Gail?
Hey, Steve.
How you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right.
So is this new to you, or have you always thought this? You heard me, Gail? My guests are having technical difficulties. Ben, turn your volume up.
I can hear you. Hello?
Can you hear me, Gail?
Yeah,
I said, is this your first time hearing about this? What you think about this?
I think it's disgusting.
You think it's disgusting?
Yes.
Um, it's money. You know,
What is going on with my
it's
phone?
money. They're gonna do what they gotta do to get the money. So you're not a fan of this?
No, I think it's a violation.
Oh, it's definitely a violation.
I think if folks rise up and stop this and vote and put the right people in office, a lot of this stuff could be prevented.
Will never be prevented ever. This can't be stopped.
That's a
This can't be
defeatist
stopped
attitude.
because
I don't think think that.
it's from higher ups that
I
have
don't think it's,
generated all this money. So it won't be stopped. There's
I don't think
nothing we
it's
could do to stop it. There's
no.
certain things that are put on media to make you feel better. They'll throw you some cookies to make you feel better of the situation, but it's
Yeah,
going
but I
to happen
think making
regardless.
people but making people aware of it and not after the fact, that can be prevented. It may not can stop, but making people aware so that they have a choice can happen.
Well, I'm having trouble. So Ben's having trouble. I agree with that. They should make people aware, but it's just it makes so much money that it makes so much money. It's so valuable,
Who's
and it's
making
being
money?
used. These analytics and these tactics are being used
But
by
who's
pretty
making the
much
money?
everyone. If you're not using these analytics and they type of business, then you can't survive in business.
Businesses survived long before the internet.
Yeah, they survived long before the internet, but everything in time stuff changes. In time stuff changes and time becomes better. So if if you know the way I think of things is it's like a game. And it's not no necessary cheat codes to get to the end of the game, but there are cheat codes that you can use to let you get ahead of the game. So if I'm in competition with somebody else who's using a code that gives them a up against me, I need to mock what they're doing so I can remain competitive.
I hear you.
And I mean, it's messed up, but it's just what it is. That's the reality of what's going on. I'm gonna drop the Hangouts link. If you guys have Google Hangouts, you can pop on the show. And they
So,
Gail, you're right.
Steve, if you know that they have the HIPAA law, right?
Yeah, they have a HIPAA law.
Right. So if Vizio or Samsung or whoever is tracking your information and able to get all that personal information,
They never admitted to nothing medical though.
Oh, okay.
They never admitted to nothing medical. I wanna
They
clarify.
never admitted it to it.
I want to clarify that because I don't want them blaming us for creating stuff.
Okay.
They never admitted to nothing medical. This is what was admitted. And this is from The Verge. This is what was confirmed that they were tracking. They confirmed that they are tracking sex, age, income, marital status, household size, education, home ownership, and household value. Everything else I said after that, that's just allegedly my opinion of what else I think they could do.
Okay. Still, that's
because
bad.
If they can get all that, they can get everything else.
That's right. If they can get all that, they can get your health information.
Yep. And we all know that
there is a law against
pharmaceuticals are very profitable. That's a business it's certain diseases that you'll never see a cure for. And it's sad to say that, but you'll never see a cure for some of these diseases, even if they have these stuff that can fix you up. You'll never see it because it just generates more money for you to be sick.
Yeah, to have to pay for medicine.
And pay for medicine.
It's ridiculous. I just think something should be done. Ugh, it's getting worse and worse.
You just gotta live your life, Gail. Nothing can be done. And again, guys, this ain't meant to scare you guys. This is not no scare bait. This is just for educational purposes.
This is Big Brother 1984.
You leave your Alexa in the bathroom, they can listen all they want. Alexa always on.
You listening right now?
So this is the link, guys. Come on the show, share your opinion. That's why I do these chats like this, so you guys can come on and share your opinion. And then Natterman said, nah, something can be done. What can be done, Natterman?
Just like Jill Scott said, they watching you, y'all.
And it's just so many devices. Not just, I had to really make it clear because people just in the articles was talking about TVs. It's everything. Your streaming devices, it's everything. Your phones.
Yeah,
Your
because every
phone is
time
probably
you
the number
download
one
an app,
target. Your
if you
phone is
read,
probably the number one target.
yeah, because if you download an app and you take the time to read the agreements, they want contacts to your camera, to your, microphone, to your everything, so they
Yeah,
can listen in at any point.
this information is profitable. It creates value. It's not gonna stop. It's too much money into it. Watches. Rough Girl said watches everything. So this is not meant to. This is just stuff to really kind of educate you. It's not meant to scare you, and I don't believe you should worry about it. It's just life and the way it is. So Rich said, whatever your imagination is what you think they can do, they are doing.
Hey, Steve, it just makes people.
Like, we can't hear you, Gail.
Oh, I'm sorry, because I'm listening to you. um, it just makes people feel like, like somebody broke into your home or something. Especially, I never owned a Vizio.
It's
I,
just not Vizio. I want to make this clear. Vizio just got called. They played their lawsuit.
so you're saying every television is doing this?
I
Every
mean,
brand?
that's this the statement. I'm gonna read this statement. I'm gonna show you guys
Okay.
the statement, and you just gotta break it down of what this means. So this is from Extreme Tech, and this is from the CTO. And the CTO says he confirms that data collection in smart TVs is now offsetting the cost of hardware to the point non-smart TV will be have a higher price tag. So he's pretty much saying that this is being done because if it wasn't being done, you have to pay more for your TVs. We're doing this for you, to save you money. So just like phones, user data is used to reduce costs and stay competitive. So this right here, this whole statement just lets me know, hey, I gave you a reason why we're doing. I threw you a cookie. So don't worry about it. I'm throwing you a cookie. Eat this cookie. If we wasn't doing this, you'll be paying a whole lot more money. That's what he's saying in layman terms. And he's also saying user data is used to reduce costs and stay competitive. Meaning we're not going to stop. We're not going to stop. We need to stay competitive. We need to compete against everybody else. We need to compete against everybody else. And we can't compete with everybody else if we stop and they're doing it. That's what I got from that. That ain't what he said. That's what I gathered. He said, stop using electronics, stay old school. How can you?
I'm going out in the garage and get my picture tube TV.
There's nothing you guys could do. So I'm going to read some of your comments. It's all technology. Anytime you put your name and address and it shows a picture of your house, then they can do what they want you. Just have to live your life and don't trip. And Levance Hopkins is pretty much like that. And I just want to say what he just said. What he just said, they can do what they want you to do. They can do what they want to do. Not only that, they can influence you by the things you see. And people don't believe that. They can influence you, the majority, into believing something, the way they want to believe in it. Stuff been going on for years. They're just showing some of their ways from Bob, and that's completely true. This always been happening. We just hear about most of this stuff now because of social media. Social media has expanded so much. So a lot of stuff that people are getting caught doing now, we could name a lot of stuff. It's always existed. It's just that we are hearing about it now. But I thought this was an interesting topic because I get these questions every so often when I'm live and stuff like that, and people be like, Steve this and Steve that, and I always tell them, what can I do? What can I do about it? I can't worry about it. If it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. You don't honestly think they're going to tell you the truth, do you? From So I'm reading some of your comments and jump on the Hangouts. If you have a phone or something like that, or you're on a computer, you can jump on Hangouts. You don't have to show your face if you don't want to. There are lawyers that will advertise to sign people with a class action lawsuit. Laws like HIPAA may stop some. Maybe it can't be stopped, but it believe. Well, I want to make this clear. They never stated that they were taking anything health related. So they're not being tried on that. They never stated that they were taking anything health related. I just stated, hey, this could happen, and this could be happen on your phone. It could happen with your TV. It could happen wherever. Because man, your sickness, your illness, and the prescriptions that you take, they are worth so much money, man. Hey, Steve and Gail, Roku TV does it too. Every streaming device does it. They all do it. And it's
Oh,
just
not Roku.
everything does it. This is just what it is. Everything does it.
It's just overwhelming. Illuminati, that Illuminati company with Mobdro, the TV Zion, all in one week.
Yeah, information is valuable, too valuable. So I'm reading your comments and I'm posting links. Jump on. This is y'all show. Share your opinion.
Jump on, people. If I'm so very shy, if I'm on, you can get on.
So a VPN doesn't protect you from Saunders. And I want to make this clear. VPNs are great for what they're supposed to do. But when they're hitting you for so many ways for this information, they're great for, the streaming. If you need something done with streaming. But I'm just talking about all this other stuff, all this other ways, you can be tracked, you know, just your viewing habits and stuff, this your information, just the stats of that. A VPN is great for what it can do. But when it's coming from so many different ways, I don't know. Maybe it'll give you a little bit of help, but we're just not talking about streaming now.
Steve,
Yeah.
I don't see how a VPN can help if the device has that programmed into it. A VPN's not going to stop it.
Nah, nah. And that way, the device, I mean, anything, anything they can use. There's so many stats that they can keep track of, and any different type of business. Someone told me I would get 50,000, so I sent 500. Don't do it, Joe. And who's to say that every VPN company is in the up and up? Who could say that? Because if this information is so valuable that these companies will pay millions for fines and still state that, hey, we did it to stay competitive and we got to continue doing it, but we'll give you an option to opt out of it. This information is that valuable. Don't you think some of these companies want to get in with it too? Your information is worth money. Even some of these social sites. That's why what they had was that Facebook who was just going to court or something like that. I can't remember who, Facebook or somebody. But any of those social media sites, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all this stuff where you're in doing your information. How your VPN saving you then when you're on your social media. You got your name there. Blue Lady 4848 NordVPN.
Because of you, and you're telling me
NordVPN doesn't keep records. I think every VPN has to keep some type of record. Just imagine, it's almost it's bad for national security not to keep some type of record. So just imagine. Let's just I don't even want to talk about it, but let's just talk about some of these crimes that happen. Let's say some of these crimes against kids happening, and they found out that, hey, this VPN will stop all that. They don't keep no type of information. I'm going to use that. Then all of them will have this to commit these crimes, and there wouldn't be no information to get them. So they keep if they have to keep information. Your security will be jeopardized if it wasn't keeping some type of information. And even some companies that had it, they had to share. It was some people created some crimes that they had to share these information. There was violent crimes, so they had to share this information, and those are facts. Just Google it. What's up, Blamo? Hop on so you can share your. It's the link in the description, Blamo. I need more people to participate, man, so we can have topics like this, talk about stuff. No more dropping off the grid. There's no such thing as dropping off the grid, rough girl. It's not possible. They know your traveling habits. They know when you're at work. They know you when you're at home. They know when you're taking the kid to school. They know if you have a husband. They know if you have a mistress. They can pretty much make they can even make through the stats and just keeping track of things. They can kind of guess the directions and the ways that you travel, everything. That's what these analytics do. They help them make predictions of what you're gonna do, what you like, all these different types of predictions from studying you. That's what this all about. And when people be like, well, this doesn't affect me. They can't do this. They can't do that. There's so much stuff. It's there. I don't believe that people really don't believe in this stuff. And it's right in front of us. What's up, Steve? I'm on the call for a few of my buds, but you need my thoughts on. I have an idea, but let at it. What's up, Juggernaut? Hop on. I got the link in the description. I really want
Enough.
I really want somebody to hop on who doesn't believe in it. Because we respect everybody's opinions here. So I just want to see who really doesn't believe this stuff is happening. Honestly, there isn't anything you can do anymore. Sure, it sucks, but there are so many records that have been collected already. It's better not to even think about it and accept it happens. And that's from Zorax, and everything he just said is completely true. What's up, William? Asmar. He said they listening now. D Blue. Soft stuff. I like that the predictions because I don't even go to search for. But hey, Softail Deluxe. Even though that's funny and that's a joke, but that's absolutely true. Of what you just said. They know your sexual preference. They know what you like sexually. All that is true too. Because hey, that sells too. That sells too. That makes money too. A lot of money. Got me unplugging Alexa. Alexa still can hear you. And we can make jokes. Softail just made a joke. Softail Deluxe. He made a joke with that. And it's funny what he said, but it's absolutely true. What he said. Even something as small as that. Yes. Won't happen again. Got me once, 3 times. So I went in and blocked them from Joe DeClue. Nah, Joe, don't send nobody no money online. They were scamming me. I had paid some ad place before. I had got scammed. I was trying to pay it fast, and I didn't look up. You gotta when you make a payment to somebody online, you gotta investigate that payment. And that's why everybody keep on saying VPN keeps logs for the record. They have to keep some of them. Stephen, what's your email? I think it's my description, Humphrey. Stephen Cornelius at gmail.com. They know we need these phones from Thick Thick, and that's absolutely true. Think about it back in the day, like when I'm younger. I'm about to turn 35 next month. Oh yeah, my birthday coming up, guys, on the 5th. When I was younger and stuff like that, I don't think I had my first cell till I was about. I had it when I was younger, about teenage. I think about 16, 17. But as far as the cell phones now, the way we use it, I can't go without a phone now. And many of you guys cannot go without a phone. Just imagine a lot of the stuff that you guys do on your phone. You do everything on your phone. Your phone is a computer. What's up, Juggernaut?
What's up? How's it going, Steve?
So I was showing them some articles about this guy was on CES, but it's just not mainly about him. It's just about mainly just the way life is. What did you think about it?
I didn't see them. I jumped on late. What is
Okay.
it? Go ahead.
I'm gonna show you the articles. The articles, because Vizio just paid that money, that $2 million, to settle that lawsuit for settlement. So it's from The Verge, and it's pretty much stating, most smart TVs are tracking you. Vizio just got caught. So it's pretty much stating they're not the only ones.
Well, when we live in the world of when we have the devices, an example, you could be looking on Amazon for whatever, a blender, and then all of a sudden you can be on Facebook and you'll have Amazon ads for a blender. Your phone, you're on your phone searching stuff on Google, and you go on to another social media, and you either have an ad or something that's relevant to what you are searching for. So because we live in that world that we know it's happening, why is it not so far-fetched that's happening with smart TVs? Because the smart TVs are and on some phones, like same horsepower as some phones.
And I'm surprised that people think, and he pretty much stated too, and you could just rip their words apart. You can get a lot of information by a couple messages, because they talk to the CTO and they talk to him at CES. So the CTO of Vizio confirms that data collection in smart TVs is now offsetting the cost of hardware to the point that non-smart TV would have a higher price tag. Just like phones, use of data is used to reduce costs and stay competitive. So with that statement there, it just lets you know, hey, we did it. We're going to continue to do it. We're keeping you from saving money. So you give him an excuse for doing it, for keeping on doing it. And we need to do this because everybody else does it. That's what I got from the statement.
It's to put it in some perspective for people too, and another thing to think about is there's been a big controversy that I just did a show on and stuff like that about the APK Mobdro and making use of what's called the Illuminati SDK. So what that is that's actually a service that is hired or paid for by whoever wants to use it in applications. It could be on PC applications, Linux, Android, whatever it is. It doesn't matter. It's an SDK that sits in the back, and if you allow it by accepting their terms of use, it turns your idle time on your device into a cloud service, like to help have their cloud service, which they admitted, Amazon as an example, is one of its clients. So they use this cloud service. So because a smart TV, in order to be smart, is connected to the web, how do we know that these companies aren't doing the same thing already built into the firmware? Not because you download or install something, that's already there.
No. It's already built in.
Yep, so it's already built in.
It doesn't make no sense not to build it. I mean, in our us is wrong, but when you think about it business wise, what they doing, why wouldn't they build it in?
Yep, it's the way to, like, and everybody out here, you can think about it. When you're done on this channel or right now, go on to either Amazon, or if you don't have Amazon or whatever, just search something consistent just to try it out, and then go on your Facebook. And mine, it happens like right away, especially in the new update for when Facebook Messenger, go scroll through to click on someone's name. I got a little ad sitting there, and I've been looking for a gimbal, like a digi gimbal for my phone to do filming and stuff like that. And I was looking on Amazon, and I go to message my wife, and there's an ad for it in my Messenger.
Yeah,
like the exact one I'm looking at. I'm like,
it's getting so bad now. Now that I've seen too, guys. If you're on Amazon and say you're looking up, let's say a TV, You looking up a TV in Amazon, and then you guys know you'll search the TV name, and it'll give you a list of what pops up on search. And say you pick to buy a Sony. Say you pick to buy a Sony TV. So you click the Sony TV you're about to buy. Now there's a double advertisement. You'll click on the TV for Sony, and they'll show an advertisement of a different TV pop up to compete with that buy before you make the purchase. That's so crazy.
It is. It's like well, we there's so many things that we go through that are normal life that be, you know, like you said, you can't deal without a phone or anything. If anybody has a phone out there, like newer ones in the last couple of years, they have this thing, you know, if you pick it up, like here's my phone, and I go to hit the camera and I go to take a picture. Well, I have a feature that if I click that picture, I can once it's snapped, I can scroll through the previous 3 to 5 seconds, because it looks like it took a bunch of snapshots, and pick the best one. I can't remember the actual feature is called, but that is in the time frame of I pick up my phone, hit the camera, take a shot. So that means before I press the camera button, my phone is already recording. It's already taking snapshot pictures.
Yeah.
So
if your phone is stuff that gets saved. I was looking at this because I made a mistake. Well, I didn't make no mistake, but you know, I really don't use Google Photos. But I was looking at Google Photos. Something just made me click on Google Photos. Do you know that everything I screenshotted, every picture everything was saved on the Google Photos? Then you can click that photo. It could tell you look at the properties of the photo. It could tell you the time you took the photo. It could tell you where you was at. It can almost tell you what place you was at. It can bring up a map. You can search the place and tell you exactly where you was at. And I was like, man, this is crazy.
Yeah, it geotags.
Even if somebody was sending you stuff, it could be tracked like that just by a picture.
Yeah, it used to be, Facebook got busted with that years ago, like many years ago when it was first up, and when you could put up a photo, and on Facebook you can take it and you right click and it actually had the words geotag, and it would give you your GPS coordinates of where that picture was taken. So people were starting to get stalked. Like, you know, you take a picture of your daughter outside her school or at an event or something, or your son or whatever the case may be, and if someone happens to see that photo, click on it. And they didn't have to be friends. They didn't have to be on like that. If they could see the photo, click on it and geotag and read it. And then all you do is you copy and paste that into Google, and it'll pinpoint right where they are.
Exactly where you at.
Yep, it's crazy. And the real unfortunate part is anybody who talks about it like we are now, it's getting more, not more mainstream, but more information mainstream out there. But before, people would be like, oh, you're just conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
Really? Really? Yeah. Like, have you ever
what's responsible for that? Social media.
Yep.
Just, social media and just these outlets like YouTube and stuff, because people can actually see it now. You can point to it now, and then it's kind of money from it. It's a lot of money from letting people know the knowledge now. So a lot of people are willing to speak the word, but they really don't like you. They demonetized this video already, because they really don't like subjects like this to come out.
Yeah, and it's true. Like that's what I don't understand. People who watch your show or anybody's show or anybody who's talking about it or on social media talking about it, it's kind of like, yeah, okay, well, yeah, that's like somebody telling me that McDonald's is unhealthy for me, but I'm going to go buy a Big Mac. Okay, well, Facebook watches me or my phone watches me, but I'm still going to use it. Yeah, but you got to realize how far it really goes. Like, where were we? My wife and I went to Walmart after work just to quickly go grab some dog food. My wife ran in. We started driving away. My phone beeps. Hey, tell us about your experience at Walmart. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And it wasn't an app. It was my phone, one of its firmware apps. It wasn't Facebook.
You got your location and GPS on. It's tracking everything that you at. And I was telling them that too. It could tell you what time you got to be at work. You can study. They can cut these analytics for a month. Make a path what you're going to do on a day-by-day basis, and they can predict who is with, who this is, and everything else. So I'm like, it's no way around it. What can you do about it? There's no way to stop this.
And the only thing that's stopping them from, like, let's say you're with a group of friends and it knows that you guys are together or for whatever it is, and the analytics start reading that, oh, you put a picture on Facebook. The only reason why they're not saying, hey, I saw, Juggernaut was with Steve. How did you guys enjoy whatever? It's because that would freak us out. So and we'd stop using something. So they don't go that far.
They don't go that far, but for the right dollar, they can go that far.
Yep. Yeah,
for the
exactly.
right dollar. And that's where this comes in at. Your information is valuable. So yeah, they won't say, hey, Juggernaut was out with this woman with this, but hey, you might have to hire somebody. She might become suspicious and she might have to go hire up somebody like this. And they have to look for this information. And now this dirt comes out of nowhere. They already had the dirt on you.
Yep. And it's used and it's real. It's real out there that it gets that this information gets used, it gets bought. You're like, it's just unreal, the world that we live in, to be so dependent on our devices and turn a blind eye of the actual consequences until somebody steals your ID or until somebody does something, like it's just, but seriously, what can we do unless you go off the grid?
You can't do nothing. And I just think what people try to do is they try to capitalize off the safety of your mind. So, the piece of the piece of your mind can equal dollars from a lot of people. So you hear a lot of people talk about, okay, I got a VPN. I don't have to worry about that. A VPN is great for what it does, but do you really think a VPN can stop all of this hitting you from so many different areas?
Well, if anybody has watched the last couple of shows that I've done talking about things like this, is like I said, I'm going to refer back to the Mobdro about gathering information, because what it does is it gathers information from your device. And somebody said, well, just use a VPN. All that a VPN does is hides your internet address from your ISP or from the public net.
It's meant to mask you.
Yep, that's all it does. If there is any software or a piece of hardware, if it's designed that way, but any software that's installed on your local device, there's nothing stopping it except for complete disconnect from it calling back to its master and giving back that information. A VPN won't stop that. A firewall won't stop that, because a firewall is not outgoing. Your ports, it's going to call back to it. So once it's already on your local device, your phone, your tablet, your laptop, your smart TV, everything, if it's built into there to call back to its master, you can't stop it. It's already done. There's a reason they don't have
that be killing me when people keep on, okay, I got a VPN, I don't gotta worry about it. Steve, just get a VPN, don't worry. It's great for talking about, it's worth so much money and it can't do anything when it's hitting. What can it do with that?
Yeah, and the reason why that we don't have the ability to stop anything from outgoing like that, or any softwares like that, is because the big companies and businesses pay for it not to exist. Period. Because that's what they want. They want your information. They want my laptop here to have that software installed in there because I'm running BlueStacks and installed an APK like Mobdro or another one like that, and it's taking my information. Any information that is designed to scrape your credit card information, your photo locations, your everything, whatever they tell it to do. That's the world we live in.
That's the world we live in, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
And then I don't got no problem with people making money, but you got to be honest. Don't sell people peace of mind when it's not true.
Yeah.
Now the VPNs are great for what they do. Like, we use them for the streaming, and it'll mask us for the streaming. That's cool. We're good with the streaming. But when you saying it's going to guard every other aspect of your life, no.
Yeah, I dare one person out there, if they are more knowledgeable than me, and I'm not the end all be all or anything, but if you can name a software that you can actually put on your device that stops something calling out to the internet. Now, keep in mind, in Windows, when you go to when something goes to call out, you're asked if you allow this out to the network. That doesn't stop an SDK from calling home because it's sending out a packet in your internet stream. So it's not recognized as an application trying to, call out. So I have not, and I've searched to anything that'll stop, a lack of a better term, a scraper for your information to actually call back to its master. There isn't.
And I was
Your phone is never.
If this information is so valuable, right? All these analytics and stuff is so valuable. What makes you think that every VPN is up good of protecting this information?
Yeah, there's
what makes you think that some certain types of this information won't be sold?
Yeah, exactly. But again, people, like, we're talking to people and stuff like that. Sure, we can talk about it and bring it to light and educate some who didn't know about it, and they can research and they find out. But we don't have an answer. There is no answer.
When it comes to money, I'm telling you guys right now, everything is forbid, no matter what they're saying to you.
Yep.
That's just what it is. And if one person, just like when they listed in that thing, they said we have to remain competitive because other companies are doing this too. Competitive means he needs to compete with other companies. So this is a game. If somebody's playing this game and they're doing other things that's valuable for them that I'm not doing, I already lost. So you could think about that in every way. You said my connection is stuttering?
Yeah, every once in a while you're starting to freeze up.
Wow.
Yeah. See,
see,
YouTube's getting you.
I'm perfect too.
Yeah, and Rough Girl asks, are there any viruses that can activate your phones or your webcam? They don't even have to be viruses, Rough Girl. If you
viruses,
download. If you're using on your phone and you go to download something and it asks for that permission to download, read those permissions. Almost every.
It's so bad. I won't even leave my webcam plugged up.
Yeah,
I turn my webcam off immediately.
Yep. Brian, I'll answer that in a second. Like a good thing, like Rough Girl example, either on your Android device or on your phone or anything like that, pick an application. Like if you're on your an Android device, like a box or a streamer like that, you go into the settings of the box, go to apps, and then you choose that application, go to permissions, and you'll see what the permissions are. You give it a lot of them. You give permissions to your camera, to your microphone, to manage calls, to manage SMS. That means it can send hidden texts using your data plan if it's on a phone, things like that. And then if you go to actually turn off one of those, it's built into the coding of the software to say, I need this or you can't install it. So if you want it, it's going to happen. And a lot of people, I've always seen a lot of people, well, when my webcam was on, I got a little light. All that is programmed into the application that's going to use it, even into Windows, that turns that light on. It doesn't have to. You can change that. And Brian Duquesne,
are you ready from Blue Lady? Blue Lady said, why doesn't law enforcement catch more serial killers and pedophiles or any crooks if they could track everything about their habits?
They actually have complete sections in FBI, CIA, everything that do exactly that.
No matter what you did, it's complete record of what you did. And just because somebody hasn't got you now doesn't mean they're not going to get you later.
Yep. Yeah, there's see, I'm up in Canada. So, and in Canada, every email, no matter how it is sent, unless it's actually a peer-to-peer secure email, every email that is sent goes through one server at the end of Canada, or the side, the East Coast and Newfoundland or whatever. It's a big server, and like that's what it does. It scrapes every email sent, goes through there, and it tags for certain words, like terrorism or things like that. So every email that you send goes through there. Every text that is sent through your provider is kept by law. Is kept, and for, I don't know, sometimes it's a certain amount of.
Once something is online, it's there forever.
Yeah, forever.
It's there forever. If you load pictures on Facebook or you send a message on Facebook and then you delete it because you don't want nobody to see it. Yeah, you might not see it. People might not see it anymore. But once it's there, it's there. It's online. It can be gathered again.
Yep. Yeah. Now, so Brian DeChain, BlueStacks. BlueStacks is actually it's an application that you put on Windows to emulate Android operating system. There's BlueStacks and Knox and a couple other ones. I use BlueStacks because it's a higher up version, so it's 7.1, and my system can handle it. It's a pretty taxing program, but it allows me to run APKs and install them and test them within my Windows environment.
They say my camera breaking, everything perfect on my end, guys.
Yeah, even right now where you were just saying that, where everything's perfect on your end, you were digitizing and your voice was sounding like an auto tune.
Testing. Yeah, I'm even looking on my phone right now. And I'm being a perfect screen on my phone. I'm getting perfect everything. This one of them topics, guys.
See, right there.
This is one of them topics because I'm perfect on my end.
Yeah, I have friends who have, friends and family bought their daughters laptops, and right away their daughters put black tape over their camera.
Yeah, because I've seen stuff like that. No, Steve, it's choppy. I can't do anything, guys.
Yeah, it comes in and out. So I mean, like,
it's perfect on my end.
Because you're just perfect, brother.
It's perfect. Like everything perfect on my end. Big whoever what we talking about don't want it to be seen like that.
That's YouTube. So what do we got here, folks? I don't see on my thing. How many people we got in here?
Clear.
I'm always clear, man. Always clear.
You said you're mopping, but your camera can't keep up.
Yeah.
I didn't really know differences. I got everything the same.
Yeah, see, and Reed Shield, you guys haven't mentioned RFID chips in your clothes. Yeah, there's so many tracking and so many things that they do. RFID chips.
I never heard of that. What's that?
Those are they inject them into like your pets. Those RFID tracking.
Oh yeah, I never even thought about that. Yeah,
they put those in clothes, and right now they put
them in clothes too.
Yeah, they put them in clothes. They have a thing out that they want to start to have people where it puts it in this part of your hand. And because it's an RFID, so an RFID can be used for NFC, which is near field communication. So you have your banking information on there, and you just put your hand over the thing instead of tap, eh? So you can do stuff like that.
Yeah, you really took out.
Yeah.
But I want to get back to because he said that the one with the criminal activity, why don't they stop more of this happening too? And if they did stop more of this happening from the from these these tracking, they got to admit of how they did it too. They got to show how they admit. They got to show how they caught this person. And then I just believe too. I'm a firm believer that everything they not trying to push for it, but they need a certain amount of people to die all the time. Just the way it is. So you catch some of this stuff, what they call the stuff in the lettuce and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
How does this stuff happen? They had something one time, they were putting something in pain relievers and stuff like this. So they're doing it to your pain relievers. They're doing stuff to your food. And it's crazy to say this, but they want a certain amount of people to die. It's just what it is.
Yeah, there's lots of things like that skate around the realm of conspiracy theory, but the facts are that from both sides, from those who believe, like the left-wing people, and then those who research and find facts.
I'm not stating this because of what I believe. I'm stating this for stuff that's happened.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
This has actually happened. People got caught. What was that one thing? I think it was. I don't want to say their name before I don't know. but they were actually testing out STDs and certain like a certain medication or something like that. I'm like, why would people even think about doing something like this?
Yeah. Well, it seems like Dave Bones is asking, like, you know, a certain amount of people dying. We can call it whatever you want, population control or things like that. But if you ever notice, a lot of the things that hit the news aren't be considered a tragedy or aren't considered something big unless there is recordable numbers of deaths. But there's so much stuff in the background that we don't see and hear that we have no clue if it's truly governed or not, and we have to assume it is because of the pure fact that stuff has to happen. Like the question is how come, one of the questions was, how come a lot of the bad people, either pedophiles, murderers, or terrorists, aren't caught using this technology? How do we know they're not? And we just don't hear about it.
Yeah, how do
we
we
don't.
know that too? Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, great answer.
Yeah, we're only aware of what we're allowed.
To
We're only
see,
aware of what we're allowed to see and hear, unless somebody leaks or something like that, you know, leaks the information. But other than that, anything that's controlled by the media or anything like that, and again, to get into the
and the media is controlled.
yep,
The media pushes what they want us to believe anyway.
yeah. Do you guys remember? Can't remember what it was. There was something like, I don't know what, like it was something over the internet, and just they took a page out of that movie, like V or whatever, and it had Anonymous, that person with the mask on and things like that.
V
Yeah.
for Vendetta.
Yeah. Do you see that happening very much? You know, rumor is on the dark web is that person got clipped, but we don't see them. We don't know for sure. You know, I literally, I have a friend that introduced me to checking things out in the dark web. I went on there. I saw some things that I never, ever, ever, ever want to see again, and I haven't gone back. But my friend went into an IRC chat on there, and they were showing some sort of room, like an escape room, things like that. And it was actually live where a person was injured, and that my friend backed away, left it alone, and their computer came up a little pop-up and said, "We know you were watching." Yeah. And that person there, like, it happened to them. And if you watch a thing on Netflix about the dark web, a person, same thing happened to a person that talks about it, why they stopped going on the dark web, because they were in a whole thing. There was a whole bunch of people watching, and they decide what happens to this person who got killed and things like that. And you watch it on Netflix, and for me, example, if you don't know anything about the dark web, or you go on there, or you haven't tried it, which I recommend you don't. I'm serious. It's something that it'll warp your life forever. I
won't even try. I already heard about it. I won't try it though.
Yeah, my friend at work.
I don't know that much.
Yeah, well, my friend at work, like a coworker, told me about it, and I didn't know it existed. I didn't know that. I used the internet for years, and yeah, have you heard about the dark web? And what? And I'm like, okay. And how do you get on there? Well, you do Tor networks. Okay, so I got the Onion browser and went in there, and I was on there. I'm like, what is this? Do you remember back in the day when they had the BBSs and IRC chat and stuff like that, when we used to do that when we were younger on the computer and things like that? That's what they have on there. And I went into one IRC chat, and you have to be confirmed or like that to actually talk, but you can watch. And I was watching drug deals going down. I was watching things like, and these are all in text and things like that. Then I went to another one where you had to pay in order to, again, talk, but you can watch. And it was real life porn. I'm like, this isn't real. I was thinking, no, this has got to be staged.
And now he has gone too far. This guy's a fake news, fake story. Now I'm confirming on this. It used to be an add-on that you could pick like certain locations. Say you pick Las Vegas, you could pick Chicago, you could pick Puerto Rico, and they'll put you through camera somewhere in the city or wherever, and they'll show you live feed of what's happening right then and there. So if stuff can do that, if it can show you live feed based on, and this is just something I forgot, it was an add-on. What was that name of it? But if this can do something live feed, Why can't you? Why is it so hard for people to believe other things can't be caught live? I don't get it. He said, "RC is. I'm watching you."
Yeah, it's you can go into search. I can't remember what it was called, but you just put on there live webcams or live CCD cameras, and there's open source cameras that you can watch from all over the world. Like
I unplug my webcam.
yeah, there's like
I unplug my webcam. As soon as I'm done with my webcam, I unplug it. There's been times I have got up at night. I'll be like, man, I left my webcam on. He got up and went off and turned my webcam off.
yeah, it's just crazy. Like and the reason that it the reason that people have this train of thought or how in our world, and because someone who hasn't experienced it, or
that they don't experience it, it's just us as people. We don't want to believe that this stuff can happen.
Yep, and someone for like myself,
Peace of mind is, you want to keep your peace of mind, and if you can't take the information, that's cool. You just don't listen, but some stuff is happening that you just wouldn't believe.
Yep. And unless you actually looked for it and researched it and actually saw the evidence for yourself, then that's why I can see when people have opinion like Edward saying now he has gone too far. This guy's a nut, fake news and fake stories. Okay. Just Google, just plain old Google. You'll see for yourself. Like it is, but again, that this is the life we live. It is like everybody who's watching this right here. If everybody has a cell phone, your cell phone is tracking you one way or another. It is, period, one way or another. Your GPS or what you're on watching or anything.
Your cell phone is tracking you. Now that you mentioned that, what they call it, the animal tracking thing,
the RFID,
the RFID. They did something in Chicago back in the day because we had so many stray cats everywhere. So they was collecting these cats and stuff, and every time they seen the cat, they was collecting all these cats and putting them in the with the animal things. And if people adopt them, I think they were giving them some of the pets that adopted automatic chips and stuff. Some of them, I think that's what they was doing. And it's just crazy. I don't know. I didn't even think about the chips.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
So what somebody was asking is like, what's the difference between like the dark web and the deep web? The deep web is the dark web is the part of the underground where, if you're thinking of picture an iceberg, and our above board web public internet that we have that everybody's on, including this, everything is just the tip of the iceberg, and the dark web, deep web, is underneath the water. So the dark web is what it's called. The deep web is the classified area in there that you need to have secure browsers, and you cannot access the deep web because it's hidden. There's only
levels, guys.
What's that?
It's pretty much levels.
Yeah.
What they're saying. So you're seeing this much, but you got some part of the ocean that we can't go far down enough, but certain people can go this far down, and we just can't see it.
Yeah. And to tell you the honest truth, until I started working where I am now 5 years ago, and that was the first time that I that's the first time I experienced somebody telling me about the dark web. I never knew it existed at all. I was naive. I'm like, what is that? And I didn't believe it.
What's the TV watching hobby? I never heard of that. From Dirty Harry.
Where's Dirty
Can't
Harry?
mention their name though. We can't mention the company name. But they said they sell TV watching hobby. He says, Steve, today is not Tuesday. I just hopped on. I was reading some articles and I wanted to talk to you guys.
Well, and that's crazy that Vizio got nailed for it. So just kind of, and they say it's going to continue to keep happening.
Yeah,
You
they
know?
didn't say they didn't say it's going to continue to keep happening. I can't say that that was my thought. I read outside the lines.
It's just, but you think that they're the ones that that got pinched for it, that they got recognized and things like that, and
It confirms that data collection in smart TVs is now offsetting the cost of hardware to the point pretty much saying you saving money.
yeah.
We're doing this to save you money, or you're gonna have to pay higher. Then he state user data is used to reduce costs and stay competitive. So what I gathered from that, this is my opinion. This is not what he said. My opinion is he said, hey, your data, your information saves you money, and we have to do it to compete with other people who are doing it as well. That's what I gathered from that whole statement.
Well, and it kind of follows suit that you people who know that you look at the price of 4K TVs has dropped so much that they become
Much. And can you really believe? Like I was thinking about this too. When I was younger, even though we make more money and price of living has went up, certain things like these TVs would have been a whole lot higher back in the day.
Yep. Well, I have a Samsung 6 Series, just a 55-inch, and I remember when the 6 Series came out for a 55-inch, it was like $3,000. I paid $700 for my smart TV. So that statement that is from the CTO there of Vizio, that's what it was. That's where your mind starts to think. It's like,
it's true.
Okay, yeah. So a smart TV come down in so much cost. Yep, they come down in cost. That they got to be offsetting it somehow.
Because this is the excuse we can give too. Because if you get caught selling this information and you're not cutting costs, at least I could say, hey, I cut you guys costs.
Yep,
you guys a bone. At least he could say that once he gets caught, and I can just pay my fine.
Yeah,
and move along. But if you get caught and still keep prices high, you're a dirty dog then. And then more people will talk about it because it's the dollar.
and it's just so convenient. It's just that's the thing is they've got the perfect platform. The smart TVs are taking over. You almost can't purchase a TV that's not smart TV, and the prices are so reasonable that. What's that?
Is there any type of TV that doesn't have internet on it anymore?
That I don't know of.
It's possible not to have a smart TV.
There probably is. There probably is if we take a look, because not every TV is smart, but those ones. But you take a look. You can go to like Best Buy. You take a look at the one that is not smart. A 46-inch for $700, or you can get a 52-inch smart TV for $750.
I got to answer this question. So G Quick just said, or just not register your smart TV. Put a shield on it. Your streaming device is doing the same thing.
Yeah.
They ask you that when you first when you first sign up, or you just buy a device, and it says, hey, can you check mark this box so we can collect data and stuff and improve your Android experience or improve your experience? That's what all this is.
Yep. Yeah, it's one way or another. Our data,
it's hitting you from too many different places.
Yep, and you can't. There's no way to protect yourself. It's just going to happen. Like you're going through life and you're going to stub your toe. It's going to happen. Nothing you can do about it.
There's nothing you can do about it. It's just coming to too many different directions, and it's too far that nobody's going to agree to stop doing it.
Yeah,
it's already going to be some person that does it, and that person that does it is going to benefit from it more than I do. So we all have to do it.
Yeah, what I'm going to do is for my next stream is I'm going to put a tinfoil hat on. Yeah, that'll protect me.
Nothing's happening. This is nothing negative towards Vizio TVs either, guys. This is nothing negative. And we were just talking that they just had to pay off that $2 million settlement and they got caught because they were collecting data. But there's nothing negative to them because they're not the only people doing it.
Yeah.
They just got caught.
They just got caught. That's exactly it. Yeah, they just got caught.
That's it. They're not the only ones that's doing it. So we just can't call them out by name because it's just not only about them. This is about everything because this is the way that business is. This is what's going on. He said, well, I use VPN now. We talked about that earlier, so you'll have to go back and talk about that.
And that is true. Like you know what, like we just said, the only true way to do it is be off the grid. But if you like, you know, somebody said they can't spy on you if you're not connected. I couldn't be.
You know, who can be off the grid?
There's my wife and I both. We said, oh, let's cut off Facebook for a bit, and I did it for a day. I couldn't take it.
Now, the people that's been watching this show for a while, remember when we was talking about the VPNs, and I told you this surprises me too, and Jay Quick just confirmed it too. What we were talking about. So Jay Quick, you got to go watch the earlier what happened, what we talked about.
Yeah, it's exactly it. Do you guys know? Do you guys know most cheat on their taxes and cost billions? Why would the FBI care you have a Cody box? It's what we're talking about here is not caring if you have a Cody box. Is the information is being used.
Information, period.
Yeah.
It's just tech information. This has nothing really to do about streaming, but it's done in streaming too. You tracked in streaming. You tracked in your streaming device. You tracked in what you use, your apps that you use to stream with. It's just hit you so many different ways. You're tracked with regular apps that you don't stream it. So it's just, this speaks towards everything.
Yeah, even when you turn your phone off, your phone is not truly turned off. Like it's, so it's again, we keep saying it because I always want to preface it with this is how it is and it's not going to change. This is our life. But when you're aware of it, it's just unfortunately, it's just another part of being educated and food for thought type thing is because
food for thought.
Yeah, because there's nothing you can do about it.
To scare anybody. Don't be scared about this because it's just the way life is, guys. But it can save you too, because it's gonna be people that come and they're gonna probably try to profit just for your peace of mind.
Yep.
But your peace of mind, this can't save you from. It can save you from certain stuff, but
yeah, and Edward is right. Like right there, that's a good one. Data equals dollars, and it is. Doesn't matter what the data is. Somebody can make use of it.
Doesn't matter what the data is.
Yep.
Anything. We can make use of anything. And these analytics, as much as people say they don't work, they work. Numbers do not lie. They'll take a group of people and say, hey, how much do you like this? And then they'll make stats about this. They can predict from these stats. These stats are not lying. Because if they were lying, if these stats were lying, why do they continue to do this? They've been doing this for years.
Yeah.
Run too much money. They can influence people. They can influence people on what to buy, what to get. They can influence you on what to even think or what captures your mind. Anything.
While companies spend billions of dollars through, here's an example. It's like if you ever, McDonald's itself used to spend billions of dollars of doing they'd get a group of people in a room and they do the blind tests, here, try this new product, tell if you like the taste of it or what would you change, things like that. That was in person and stuff and like that. Now what we have is you have companies that are paying another service to include this SDK into software that gets installed daily, and it's on tens of millions of people's devices, to where when your phone or your device is in idle time, makes use of anywhere from 30 seconds or longer of your idle time to actually call out to its server in order to make use of making it a big part of a what do you call it, a cloud service, that it actually sends back your information. So what you've been on, where you went, the IP addresses that your device attached to, things like that, which companies pay for in order to make advertisements curtailed to that. Anybody who, like, years ago when I wanted to do research, so I wanted
Advertisements worth billions.
Yep. I wanted to advertise on Facebook. I just wanted to find out what it takes to actually put an ad on Facebook. And when you went into it, it asks you to pinpoint the I can't remember what the word is, but I want males between 18 and 30, like incomes of this and things like that, like your interests and things like that.
Pay money for that.
Yep. Sorry, and you pay for that. That's how Facebook used to do it. Now it's used by the analytics
companies, period.
Yep.
The stats, because the stats used to make them money. They'll do things for their business based off these stats, off these reports, and they generated money from it. It worked. So if it worked, we're gonna pay for it. Let me ask you a question. And this is a good question. I was just thinking about this with the last statement. Now that you said, okay, they can pay for this information, right? To buy this information, companies pay for this information. It's valuable, so they can sell you. So since they have all this extra information now, and they can pretty much do stuff to influence the buy, has the quality went down because of that?
No. That's why we keep doing it. The quality gets better and better and at a lesser price.
Okay.
Well, that's what I think is, like, when they use that information, is that
I'm not talking about the quality of information. I'm talking about the quality on the service that business is providing. Say we're selling monitors, computer monitors. And before our quality had to be at a certain point each few years. Now, we have these extra steps on our analytics that we could pretty much, we're increasing the amount of people who buy our product, and we are it's easier for us to do. We can increase you from buying the product. We could actually make you buy the product without you even wanting this product. We have a lot of influence now. Doesn't that hurt the quality of things too?
Well, I guess because when you're starting to rest on your loins, because you can make these easy sales because you're paying the extra money going into getting those analytics and things like that. I can see that, some services may not be up to par, because that's how you keep somebody, is the quality of it. But if that revolving door keeps coming and your service level is not as high as it should be, but it's right there enough to keep them interested, then they don't have to make such a high quality service or device or things like that. Yeah, it's because they're using the information to draw the people in. It's easier now.
It's easier.
Yeah.
So
what was it there? Dirty Harry said a cell phone, anti-tracking, anti-spying, GPS, RFID signal blocker, pouch case, bag, handset, function bag, black. It's on Amazon. Okay, well, that will do absolutely zero to an application that's installed on your phone that's sending information to its master. Nothing.
This Monday Surge Flicks, we just doing a little special show. There was some articles I read, and I just wanted to talk about it because people be thinking I'm crazy sometimes, but I wanted to show some proof in the pudding.
Yeah, you know what? Somebody asked there, like, how long before they're spying through your backup cameras? You know what? My wife and I, we just got a new car for us. We got a Chrysler 200, nice car and everything, but it doesn't come with a backup camera. So I've been looking at, the ones that you can get. It actually replaces your mirror when you put in reverse, a little 4-inch image of your backup camera that you put on, that you mount in the back, comes on, and the camera itself is wireless. It's 2.4. Anything wireless can be hacked. Any camera image like that, all it is encryption. If you have a good enough program or a good enough computer, you can hack. Oh, Steve, you went black. Oh, that was And you muted yourself. What happened? Yeah, I can see you now, but you're muted.
Okay, I'm back.
There we go. Oh, YouTube got you. But yeah, like anything that's wireless.
Camera off for a minute.
Oh,
Yeah, I did that on purpose.
oh, YouTube got him.
Yes.
But I mean, yeah, like to answer that question, it makes me wonder too. You know, like how it's crazy. The phones know when you're in your car. Yeah, they do. You can have
Well, your GPS on, your location is on. Just think about it. We just talked about this before when he said it says with the streaming. You got streaming apps that ask you for your location. You got all these types of apps that ask to get your location. You got your GPS on. Of course, they know where you at all the time.
Yep, and if a guy like me who has a you know, a little bit of intelligence, it's just like William Terry said, like if you can think of it as being done. If someone like me can think of things like that, and I'm, you know, like the people, what's that?
Smart, but we're here.
Yep, you know, and the people who are smarter are the ones who are making the big bucks, developing all these things. You know, like everybody is well aware that the NSA in the States have cameras that can watch us from space.
They got cameras that take pictures of your license plates when you run the street sign.
Yep. Yeah, it's just crazy. But again,
mail you the tickets.
What's that?
They mail you the tickets.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's crazy. Like it's you know, and we talk about it and we kind of conspiracy theorize about it, and then we true fact about it, the things that are backed up repeatedly on the net by reputable, you know, sources or reporting and stuff like that. But again, it's just one of those things that we talk about. There's no way he's going to stop it.
Now just imagine this. They can see your license plate speeding away. These cameras. But certain crimes they can't see? Come on.
Yeah. That just gets to me. So
they don't make sense.
Yeah, it is like I just though that's where my mind just goes because you're thinking about like you know, you have dash cam cameras and you have backup cameras and you have GPS on your phone and you have OnStar tracking that has your GPS.
You cameras everywhere. You got security cameras. You got ADT cameras.
Yep, and you have cars that have Wi-Fi built, like their Wi-Fi mesh. So they, you know, your Wi-Fi is on all the time. They sell them as an addition or whatever enhancement to your vehicle that you have Wi-Fi hotspotting, so your kids can be on the Wi-Fi when you're on a trip. Well, you know, damn, like all that right there starts to let you know is how much that they can do. Like they can track you, you know.
He said, "Well, firewall save you from this sort of stuff." That's what John asked. Judge, can a good firewall protect you?
No, firewall is for incoming traffic. While firewall can stop incoming traffic, and you can set it for any outgoing for protection, like to block IPs and ports and stuff like that. But again, this falls on that if somebody installs a software or the firmware on that device, because how do you know your firewall itself isn't tracking your IP and reporting it? You know, like we assume it's not.
Business. It comes from a business.
Yeah. So like, it's just like we can go on.
A business that's generating money.
Yeah.
Why shouldn't I use this data as everybody else doing it?
Yeah, we can go on forever and ever for both sides, you know, but it's true. It's happening. Like everything we're doing right now, everybody that's here, your IP address is being logged that you came to YouTube.
And then DJ Plush, he just said enemy of the state.
Yeah.
And that's funny. That's funny.
Yep.
But it's realistic.
Yes, I know. And, you know, it's like, I kind of wonder where some of those movie concepts come from, because like, you know, they know it's real.
It's real. Well, we all have all love technology, but question is, we all love technology, but question its possible bad use. I need online banking.
Yeah,
but I mean, I can't say this is bad use. I mean, yeah, it's. I'm not gonna rate it as bad or good. It's bad because certain people shouldn't do it without us knowing about it. But I can't say it's all the way. If we knew about it, it was bad. Can all this going on and us walking through it cause some sickness? What do you mean, rough girl? He said, "How do we know that Steve is not tracking us?" Shh. But I could kind of state if I just think if that's your business, they're gonna continue to do it because that's what they're in the business of doing. Okay, I'm going through your questions. I'm gonna drop the Hangouts link. I'm gonna stay on for a little bit longer. So
Hey, Troop.
to jump on can jump on real quick.
Yeah, I was just on. I was on Super Dell's stream, and we were in the Hangouts, and then I saw that I was just checking yours out, and then you invited me on, and I couldn't say goodbye to them because I didn't want to interrupt. LJ was talking, and I didn't want to interrupt him, so I just bailed. Sorry.
It was something I meant to say too. I'm gonna look at one of your comments made me think of something. I think it was about enemy of the state. Oh, the online banking thing. I need online banking. The thing about online banking, just think about too. You there, Jug?
Yep, I'm here.
I was thinking about this too. Say we had a total blackout, right? And most of the people keep their money in banks. We really don't keep large amount of money anymore on hand. You can't even get no money out.
No, you can't. You can't. And if you think as like even if you walked into the bank, first off, they would probably lock the doors. But even if you could go into the bank, there you can only get what would be in the till because the vaults would probably be closed, so you can't even get in there. They're electronic. It's not like you have a big vault that has like a little key to get in. As far as I know, I could be wrong. But like, yeah, how would you get cash? How would you pay for things?
And that's just stuff to worry about when we talk about, hey, we're gonna change this. There's no changing it because the powers of be kind of control and run your life.
Well, and Edward Alexander says money would not be needed in an emergency. The only thing that I can think of is like, let's say you owned a company and that company was a produce company. The only way that you can keep your company alive is by recirculating income from selling that produce. Sure. Can you start growing it now? But then, like we go back to, we have to harvest things to have the seeds in order to plant them and harvest them without the technology to make them grow faster, things like that. We would survive, but we would definitely be set back. Like, I mean, there would be no, that's it. We'd all be walking around.
We'll be struggle too because we so spoiled now. We're so spoiled with all this technology. He said, I can't stay off Facebook. Believe me, I tried. It's an addiction. Yeah, and everything you on Facebook, everything you go on Facebook, all these social media things, they could tell everything just from there. So it's just so many places that we like doing that it's just, okay, say we got some protection from one thing, you'll just get hit another way. That's what I'm trying to say. Like just wherever you're going, it's just too many hits, whatever you're doing that's doing this.
See, I'm sticking with Rough Girl. She said, I'm ready. I'm a hunter-gatherer. Okay, where are you? I'm coming to live with you. Because I'm an eater, sleeper. So we'll get along just fine.
He said, when the lights go off, I'm in New York City. The ATM's the last thing I will need when the lights go off. Well, yeah, that's true too, man. Let's see. I'm gonna read some of your comments. I'm about to get ready to go too. If somebody want to jump in, whenever we have these topics too, I'm gonna let people jump in. And every time I read some articles that kind of have something to do with what we talked about in one of our live shows, it might not be streaming. Well, this can be related to anything because a lot of information is going on with streaming that you guys don't know. A lot of stuff is going on with streaming because it's just a new hot thing.
So kind of off topic for a quick second. What do you think about NVIDIA discontinuing the Pro?
NVIDIA discontinued the Pro?
Yeah.
It just made sense. But you know, they did it before. They didn't discontinue it, but they kind of limit how many they made. So they was just like, okay, we don't need to do it because people can just buy the 16 gigabyte version and add storage.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't realize that the Pro, even though it has that 500 gig hard drive, it's not a solid state. It's a hybrid. So it's an SSHD. So it only has a small portion of it that is either for startup or things like that. In order to, that's SSD. The rest is the spin drive, and they're failing. Like everybody, like
they're not failing no more.
Well, they were
failing at first.
Yeah, but it's just easier now to have you buy the 16, and you turn around and buy like a.
Why people were buying the 500 gigabyte version was because they didn't like the new 2017 version of the 16 gigabyte version.
Yeah,
the 500 gigabytes pretty much the old model still.
Yep. I hope they come out. If they come out with an updated version, if they ever decide that, I hope it's the Tegra 3, because I love my Shield.
I don't see it happening.
No, I don't either. I just wish it would.
Yeah, I don't see it happening. They don't really need, because even with that GeForce Now thing, I was talking about that one show, that GeForce Now with the Steam. I was like, if they made a tablet right now, it'll be great because now you got a portable Steam machine where you can go over to your buddy's house. I can go over your house and I can hook it up to your TV. I can play Steam.
Yep.
I'm like, the thing about it is that tablet I have, what it has the K1 tablet. I'm playing the 1080p 60 frames per second perfectly with the K1 tablet.
Yep.
So why do I have to upgrade? This is probably NVIDIA's thinking. Why do I have to upgrade to give you guys more of what you want when nobody else is doing it and I really don't have to?
Yep. Yeah. So they're staying idle like that, but with their stock being going down and stuff like that. But yeah, I just love my Shield.
But they're gonna make money in other places too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, their graphics cards and stuff. Like, see, I didn't have a Shield. I had a GT1 Ultimate, and I started watching your shows, and then you talked about the Shield, and then
here goes David. David says, seriously, life would still go on without tech banks, would still operate. Come on, let's be real. We haven't relied on tech forever.
No,
I wouldn't know how to do what to do.
Well, that's true, David. But the thing is that you got to think that because the evolution of technology is so fast,
everything.
Yeah, everything is done like that. I am sure that when it comes to monetization or things like that, of like either banks or those procedures, we would adapt, or the market would just crash and we would become, but
with normal lifestyle things, how would you adapt?
Yeah.
Normal lifestyle things, how would you adapt? People can't barely go out without their phone for a day.
Yeah, people wouldn't know how to. Like me, my mom phones me and I don't answer the phone. I wait for her to stop, then I text her back.
If I leave my phone at home and I go to work, you better believe at lunchtime.
Yep.
I'm coming right back home.
Yeah. Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah.
And I don't even text or call that much. I don't text or call that much. I don't be on the phone talking about it. It's just a walking computer that I can look at all the time.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah.
Nvidia stock is going back up to 157 right now. Okay.
Good old Gail Lewis. Gail Lewis, she knows.
Gail knows a lot of stuff. Gail was bad too. She was like, Steve, how they get away with this? I was like, can't stop it, Gail. It just is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, but again, like if anybody can think of something that's viable, if anybody can think of something that's viable to actually
For sale.
what's that?
Anything valuable for sale.
Yeah, but I mean, like if anybody here, anybody could think of something that's actually viable that will stop or inhibit us being spied on, don't ever tell anybody, because if you do, we'll never hear from you again. You know, you'll get absorbed somewhere. You know, you'll either become that person who works for them, or like it's just. I'm so amazed that like I've watched a lot of shows and things like that about the hackers and things like that, and when you look at that Snowden,
I haven't seen that yet. Snowden.
yeah, but you read up on him and stuff like that. Like you think of the intelligence or like Russian hackers, where a lot of the hackers are 13, 14 years old and can do almost anything. Like it's insane, and it's all done via technology.
Yeah.
That makes or breaks people's lives. Like it's just, I wish that we didn't have a society like that, but very few can live. Like I don't think you guys have what are called Hutterites. That's like a version that's like the Amish in the States. I don't know if but Canada, we have like the Hutterites, which they are, and they're farmers. They deal with a lot, like they either have hog barns or chickens or things like that. And on top, like you go into the house, there's no electronics. Some of them don't even have power. They do things old style. That's just the way they are. But you go in the basement, and they have generators with TVs, and they have Nintendo. At that time when I saw them, Nintendo 64s and computers. It's like you can't do anything. And
No,
almost
they're
anything.
still doing stuff.
Yeah.
They're still doing it. I'm gonna read some of these questions. Kids would not know how to play without their tech. That's a good. Kids barely even go outside like we used to do back in the day.
Yeah, see, Edward brings up an excellent
Scary
point.
thing too. That's a scary thing. Now we thinking about it, because now these kids are being tracked. So even young, these kids being tracked at a baby age until they grow up, and just imagine how much that data is worth. And that's why too, I believe, how quick it is to like become famous, like on the internet now, as far as like the social media famous, the people on Instagram and all this other stuff. And they're so famous based on the ad revenue they make towards their name. This stuff is making a lot of money.
Yep. It's, we're talking about kids and stuff like that. There's some good comments out there, but my kids, we got them phones, whether they were one of my pass downs or because my work, I traded my phone every 3 years, passed down and given to them, even make it as a pay as you go or anything, just so we can keep track of our kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, like it'd be scary. Like I make the joke to my kids, like they're sitting there on their tablets, they're sitting in the house or on their PS4s and things like that. Go outside, because when I was a kid, my mom gave me like a bag of water and a stick and told me to go make mud. Okay, yeah, I used to do that, but then I tell my kids like they should go out and do something. But hey, don't forget to take your phone, because if I need to text or get a hold of you or track you down, you better have your device on you. Okay, like. All right, so my kid leaves and goes over to his friend's house and plays PS4.
Yeah, these kids are addicted to technology.
Yeah,
their phones. My daughter, I got the YouTube Kids thing. Man, my daughter and niece, when they go to the dinner table, they carry their iPads with them to eat. If they don't have their iPad, it's hard for me to feed them. I gotta make them put that down. At first, I didn't notice that they were doing that, but I'm like, every time y'all go eat, You're bringing this tablet with you. You have to turn this tablet on before you eat. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
And sit at the table watching something, and the multitasking these kids can do. It's just crazy. Like, I have my son, who's one of them, my youngest one. He's 14 years old. Okay, so the only thing he does outside, he delivers flyers and he goes to Taekwondo. The rest of the time, he is on his PS4, and while he's on his PS4 on an iPad that he has a YouTube video playing, and he's got his headphones on that he's listening to music while he's playing a video game online with other people. It's like, what? Your multitasking skills are so much higher than me. My eyes go crossed if I try to do three things at once. But you take one of those devices away, that's a punishment to the kids. So
They said there is a new setting in the last updated Shield. It's in the developer options under HDMI. It will select, what's that say? REC 2020 or 709 color, depending on your content. Didn't know if you knew. I haven't seen that yet, Anthony. I probably seen it, didn't pay it too much attention. Check it out. Hey, Do King. Yeah, the live show still tomorrow at 8, guys. I was just hopping on.
and somebody
People today
mentioned,
don't know how to plant a garden or hunt, so we're screwed. Not everyone, though. Well, you got a lot of people, man. They go on their wilderness hunts and stuff like that for their, they might do it for a month, 2 months, a couple of weeks, and they try to survive as much with as much taken from the world as they can. So they just try to survive off the land, and there's not too many of us who can do that. I don't think I could do it. Now, I'll probably learn and have to do it to survive. You have to do whatever you have to do to survive. But yeah, just normal stuff like that.
well, it's unfortunate that if we were in a situation that we knew that someone was coming, that we wouldn't be without technology. A lot of us may not try to either adapt or think outside the box to survive without the technology. Most of us will try to keep the technology. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
instead, yeah. If you were told in 5 days you are going to be technology forbidden free, like you can't have technology, are you going to say, okay, in 5 days I really gotta, make sure I got my food in order, I gotta make sure like that? Or are you going to be thinking, how in the hell do I get my technology past those 5 days?
And that's crazy because I'm real big on preparing myself. So I will be thinking about but I'll still be thinking about how to keep the technology.
Yep. And that's ingrained in us, because I'm thinking about, I just thought of that now, and I'd be thinking, if I was told at the end of this week I couldn't have my laptop, my phone, or anything, that I'd be like, huh, all right, well, where can I get it? Yeah, how do I keep it? Can I hide it? Can I steal another one? Am I able to buy one? Like, what are you talking about? Instead of it, like, okay, it's crazy.
Alexa primary just for listening device for the government to listen to your home. Nah, I don't think that's the primary use to it, and we're just not naming Alexa. I just think this the way the world is. It's just connected to so many different things, and we're just not even naming just certain things out. It's just it can hit you in a variety of ways, and I don't think it's the primary use to it. It's just the way things are. Your information is valuable. Our information is worth money, so to get this money, you're going to get hit a different amount of ways to get it. It's going to come out one way or another.
Yeah, it's all about the almighty dollar.
Discussion about.
Yeah,
So we don't even got a name. What that is. The Alexa, whatever the what they call it, the Google. What is it? Google Now. What's it called? Google Now.
Is it Now or Google Now is in the phone, isn't it? Like the Dot or Echo?
Just not talking about Google Home or Alexa. It's in everything. Even when I said about the TV, I was like, the TVs aren't. We know they're not to really even blame because everybody is just doing it. It's just a lot of money right now. The technology is there.
Yep. And it's not going to go anywhere unless we have
Probably saving them money. When you think about it, it's probably saving them money as far as happening, the ways they use it through things to find out this information. Now they don't have to put the money there, because this information, your information is valuable, but it's probably not even sold for that much because they're selling so much of it.
Since I brought it up and like that, I see people talking about Snowden, but the
I
last
watched that tonight. I haven't seen it.
Well, the last one here is Snowden took an oath to protect us. Well, him finding out that the government is actually spying on its citizens without them knowing, and it actually got into government and exposing that, I would say he was trying to protect people. But all we know is what was released to the press and what a movie was made of. We really don't know everything. So, that's the part that, again, we're relying on technology to tell us about stories like that. And we don't know what's true. It's curtailed to us. So, it's crazy.
He says also people want guns banned. Bad idea. Guns are a necessity. They'll never be banned because they generate too much money.
Yeah.
It generates too much money. They'll never be banned. People will talk about it. You have politicians speak on it, but at the end of the day, it's just too much money involved with it.
That's that right there. When somebody talks about the guns and either getting rid of guns or being part of guns and the government, people who are doing elections and part of their speeches, they know that is just a foothold to be either positive to work against or a negative, but it's always positive for their campaign or their election, or whatever, because it's not going to go anywhere. If somebody who's running for any type of government or any type of control, and they use part of their platform is to make an argument on something that shouldn't be there, that actually could disappear, then it's useless for them. That doesn't go anywhere. That's not something that they would use. But of course, they argue against the guns, having guns, or violence with guns, or anything like that. In my opinion, again, this is just me, is that because everybody goes to it. You're either for them or against them, because they're not going to go nowhere. So you can work both sides. Again, yes.
They're not going anywhere. It wouldn't happen. The politicians will always use it because it gets votes.
Yep.
I've seen because we're having a big mayor campaign soon because our mayor is leaving Chicago. So
really?
It's a lot of mayors that's coming off the win work, and it was surprising. Like 6 or 7 of them sat down the other day, and they were naming stuff they want to get rid of. And one of the things they said they wanted to get rid of was keeping intel on people who made keeping intel on information gathered from people doing like other crimes and stuff like that, because it targeted, a group of people. As far as, if they targeted black people, that's what they said. And me as a black man, I was like, that will never happen, because if they had to eliminate that information just on certain people, they have to eliminate that information for everybody. They're going to keep that intel no matter what you're talking about. And that promise that you're trying to make is just, it's not even possible.
Yeah.
It's not possible. They solve so many cases on the records they keep. And these analytics, we were talking about, this a prime example of the analytics of the records they keep. Why would they let that go? It's never going to happen.
And Steve, you're black? I didn't know that.
Well, I'll be listening to stuff. I don't think people just think about the whole thing. They just think about a little small section of what could happen. Like the gun control thing. Like, I believe in gun control to an extent. If they really did take guns away, as far as they're making it illegal for us to have guns, the people committing the crimes that are criminals, do you think they're going to put their gun away?
Yeah.
Now they know that you're a law-abiding citizen, that you don't have it. It make the crime a whole lot easier to do against you. and people need to think about stuff like that.
Yeah, it's too bad that we evolved all over, worldwide. That any type of conflict or anything like that actually turns into where there's some sort of weapon, like against each other. It's just. But again, that's we can talk about that all night, and people. And the best part and the worst part is everybody will have their own opinion on it. So I mean, it's just crazy. I just think about it. Like where I am up in Canada, I'm in Saskatchewan, and in our city that's here, we're just under 300,000 people. We didn't have a lot of gun violence. Like we didn't. It's just the way it was. Like there was the violence thing. We have gangs and stuff like that, and the Hells Angels and all stuff like that. But there wasn't huge violence here. And then in the last 5 years, man, there was just like a shooting yesterday and in the new year, and right before Christmas there was a standoff where a guy was trying to commit suicide by police. Another one where a cop had to shoot somebody. Like this wasn't happening 5 years ago, but now
it's happening now, and it's a lot due to influencer things. People can see. I don't get it. It's just a lot of reasons why it's happening now.
Yeah. Whatever happened to Kung Fu? That's exactly it. Yeah. Everybody should just like Kung Fu fighting. We should have conflict settled by those big sumo suits. Those big sweaty suits you put on and it makes you look like a sumo wrestler, and you just get, if nations have conflicts, they delegate their champion and you go sumo wrestle. No weapons.
Chicago is cold. Yep, I think it's about 10 degrees right now. It got cold.
10 degrees Fahrenheit?
Huh?
Did 10 degrees Fahrenheit is cold for you?
Yeah.
Man, it was like, well, today was actually not too bad, but day before yesterday was minus 42 Celsius. So minus 42 Celsius is like at minus 32 Celsius.
You used to a jug?
Yeah. Yep. You're 10 degrees like that, I'd still be in shorts and flip-flops. Sandals, walking around.
Blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I don't like talking about politics. I ain't gonna tell you guys.
Yeah, I don't even know enough about it. And I know enough.
Then a lot of these groups and stuff like that is meant to divide the people anyway. They can't have all the people thinking as one. It'll be just too powerful for the people to have the same ideals and same motives and same beliefs. So all these factions, as far as politics, everything, a lot of things you can think about are just created because they need everything grouped off.
Yep. Like it's just
supposed to be 60 on Wednesday. Where you at?
Yeah, so 10 degrees Fahrenheit is minus 12 for us. Literally, when it was minus 10, I was still in shorts. I wore shorts to work. So minus 12. Today was minus 15. And I don't wear a jacket and boots or anything like that. There's snow on the ground and things like that. In my shirt, going to get groceries, stuff like that. Because we are used to it, yeah. But yeah, obviously you can't stay out there forever. I mean, like you're still gonna freeze, but
let me see. We got any last questions, guys? I'm getting ready to go soon.
Dirty Harry says, I recommend using 2 tin cans and a length of string.
Folks are using Fortnite to launder money. Is that true? I heard about it. If there's actual fact. It's an actual fact, Jug?
That I don't know, but I could see it. I could see it. There's
I can see it happening, but what we gonna put in allegedly? What do you call it? Allegedly?
Yeah, allegedly.
Yeah, they're doing it. It has happened.
Well, there's that YouTuber. I don't know who he is, and I can find out the name for my son, but he showed me that he was watching it. This guy's got lots of money, and what he did is he was talking about using where he's just donating to gamers. So they were on like Twitch or something like that. And if you're watching them, you can actually donate to them. And he was giving, like, one guy's playing, he gave him $10,000. And I'm like, okay, Gabe, what do you mean gave him $10,000? And my son's like, yeah, I gave him $10,000. I'm like, so
donating that much money?
Yeah, he gave it to. Yeah, this guy was rich. He did some sort of thing of the top person would get $100,000 or something, and there was two winners, so he like split it or did something. My son was telling me about it, and he was showing me on his phone. It's but yeah, it's when they're doing that, okay, if you're a game player and you're on there and I'm able to donate, just like our super chats, I can donate to you, and then you can pull it out. It's up to you to claim it for taxes and everything, but that you have the money. Like, that's crazy. Like, yeah, but I could see them, they must have some sort of limitations, and like you can't turn around and like you're playing Fortnite and okay, well I got $50,000 I want to launder, so I'm gonna donate.
I thought it's some type. It got to be some type of limitation. But now that you mention it, yeah, it could happen, go down like that. But then again, what it could be also. It could be scare bait.
Yeah.
Like something somebody thought about and just put out there. And
It's
also, everything we said today is just opinions.
Yes. Yep.
Nothing's except for the articles.
Yep. Go read
the articles. That's it. That's the only fact that we have that's factual. Everything else was alleged.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. And opinions, but that's what you just said.
That is the nice depression. I'm having trouble with Real Debrid on any device. Are you make sure you reauthorize your device, and also check your sub. Make sure you have time left on your sub.
Well, what you can now do is you can log into your Real Debrid account, and if you go in there and go to your account settings, you scroll down, it'll actually list every device that you've put Real Debrid on, and you can clear it away. So it's basically like clearing your Real Debrid cache. Yeah, and you could also go to the section where it says everything that you downloaded, which is a misnomer, because with Real Debrid, you're not actually downloading anything, but it lists under downloads, and you can clear all that away. I did that, and mine's running better.
He said, "Can burner cell phones protect you from government surveillance?" It's been people caught with burner cell phones. By burner cell phones. He said, "Can burner cell phones protect you from government surveillance?" I thought it's been criminals caught by using burner cell phones before.
Well, it's because they're holding on to it for too long of a time.
Yeah.
If you were actually in a criminal, if you're going to do anything criminal like that, and again, allegedly, and my opinion, you go buy a burner phone, you use it to communicate to somebody. When you're done communicating, you toss that phone. That's it. You're done.
Toss that phone, but say you go, they find out where you're purchasing these phones, and they know the phone that you're getting. And like you said, everything like with the picture message and stuff like that, it all keeps that data. So they could probably track you still with the burner.
Well, nowadays where you go to buy it, that's where they have the high def cameras in there, and they can trace where the phones were delivered to by the company and go there and show your picture. Like,
yeah. I don't know. I just be thinking of so many ways. I just don't think you can really escape it.
Yeah, this isn't like James Bond. Yeah, even like doorbells that'll follow you every step you take. Yeah, the Ring doorbells, like, they have the built-in cameras and Honeywell cameras and things like that are in your doorbell. I have a friend at work. He has a camera.
Wire.
What's that?
She brought up a good point. The Wire, the TV series, The Wire, they used burner phones. They still got tapped on them burner phones. If I can think, I gotta watch it again. I think they still got tapped some way. And if it happened on the TV show, it can happen in real life.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the way I put it. If it happened on TV show, it could happen.
Yeah. If I was using a phone like they did on The Wire and I got caught, I'd get Harvey Specter from Suits to get me in trouble.
We're gonna get ready to go though, guys. Thanks for joining us. Make sure you guys get Google Hangouts, because when I do other, like the Tuesday live shows are our main ones, but if I do like a show like on a Monday or a Sunday or a Friday and it's based on a topic, I'll let anybody in. You can share your opinion.
Well, I thank you for having me on your show. This is the first time, I think. I don't think I was on your show. I was thinking I was on one time before. One time.
You've been on the show a few times.
No, have I?
Is the bread really safe? Yes, it's safe to use without a VPN.
Yep. Because basically your Real the Brid is actually acting like a VPN.
Yeah. I'm gonna talk to you guys later. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow we have a live show at 8 p.m. Central Time, 9 p.m. Eastern. I'm supposed to have a product review. I had it today, but it just hasn't got approved yet. So I got a product review. It's probably be earlier tomorrow. Thank you, Steve. Honored to talk to you. Bye. See you soon. Great topic. See you soon, Blue Lady. I'm gonna talk to you guys later. Tune in next time. Well, shout out to Juggernaut for coming on the show. Shout out to Gail and Ben, even though we didn't hear them. And make sure you guys communicate so we can actually talk about some things, you know.
And for those that there's my name, I put a 1 beside it. Hover over and hit those 3 dots and go to my channel. And if you see what you like, subscribe.
Yes, subscribe to Juggernaut channel. Also, guys, in the comment section, if you guys run through any articles that have anything to do with tech and you think it would be good for us to talk about, comment that on the videos too. Say, Steve, hey, I seen the article here. You know, that helps it too. I'm gonna talk to you guys later. Tune in next time so I can show you how to make the box yours.